According to the Addiction Center statistics for alcohol and abuse, every year alcohol accounts for 5.3% of deaths, or 1 and every 20. Approximately 300 million people throughout the world have an alcohol use disorder. Magdalena Gustafsson is a sobriety life coach from Australia who helps people give up alcohol to gain clarity and confidence to live a sober life. She was once in a state of victimhood, making every excuse in the book not to get assistance with her problem with alcoholism. She eventually hit rock bottom, but she says that her life coach, which she discovered during her own battle to regain her sobriety, helped change her life, and now she wants to be known as the authority to help others get sober and regain ownership over their life. She says in this journey you have two choices. You can either become a victim or you can find your way to become a survivor. And she laid out her blueprint and innovative program in order to get that accomplished during our conversation this week when she joined me on the program to discuss gaining your sobriety, how to effectively admit that you have a problem with alcohol, and taking ownership and responsibility over your own decisions in life. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Take a moment to welcome you to the program, and I'm super delighted to be with you today to talk about how you help people overcome their alcoholism and gain clarity. Great to see you, and thank you for getting up so early for me today. It's most appreciated.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Now, Magdalena, I know that your work centers around helping people, as I said, recover from their alcoholism and gain clarity. So I wonder if you can tell me about all the good work that you do.
Yes, I would love to, Kevin. So I help people get clarity and confidence to create a sober life that they love. I believe it's important to get clarity first in where you're at, and also to create a sober life you love, because a lot of people, they give up. I know I did. You give up alcohol and then you try and start living a life just alcohol free without actually building a sober life. And a lot of people get stuck there, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later. So I have a program where I help people find clarity and understand their emotions. I help people pinpoint their emotions, because often people get stuck with feeling either sad or lonely. They don't really pinpoint their emotions. So I help people to be able to pinpoint their emotions, set goals, get clarity, create change, create a new mindset, new positive mindset. I teach them to look at solutions rather than problems, to become, with a honesty, true and honest with self. That is so important. And change dreams to dreams, because we all have dreams, right? but not everyone has goals. And I meet a lot of clients that actually don't have goals. They've never really had big goals. So that's a big achievement, is to turn your dreams into goals. And that can only happen once we go into action. So when you go into action on your dreams, it actually become a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And Magdalena, I'm curious to ask you about how difficult it is for people to sort of realize that they're in a state of need where they need help, because it's often not easy to ask for help. So tell me about working with people to recognize that they need the assistance to gain their sobriety and become clear. How difficult is it to ask for help when you're in that state?
I think it's very important to ask for help. And I know it can be really hard to ask for help, because a lot of people are asking, do I have a problem with alcohol? And a lot of people feel like, oh, don't really think they have a problem with alcohol, even though they want to give up, because maybe your next door neighbor is having such a big problem with alcohol. There's always going to be people that have a bigger addiction than you, and there's always going to be people that have a less addiction than you. It doesn't really matter. And I think it's important to know that it doesn't really matter if you are addicted. It doesn't really matter if you are an alcoholic. Let go of that. If you want to give up drinking and you find it hard to give up drinking, then you have a problem with drinking. It doesn't really matter what it is more than that. If you want help, reach out, because this is such a common problem. This is so common. And once you reach out, then there's so many different ways to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Magdalena, tell me, how did you yourself go from an insecure, you describe yourself as an insecure, binge drinking mom stuck in a state of addiction. So how did you go from that and your abusive relationship to where you are today? I'm fascinated to learn your personal story.
Yes, Kevin. So for about 2 years, I wanted to give up drinking. I realized that it wasn't very healthy what I was doing, but everyone around me was doing it. And a lot of people were doing it more than me, but also a lot of people were doing it less than me. So I didn't really know if I had a problem. I just knew that I didn't really like what I was doing. I didn't enjoy it. And also it gave me a lot of anxiety. So I was struggling with a lot of anxiety for a very long time. And it came to, I met someone, my ex-partner actually, and he wanted to give up drinking. And that so we kind of gave up together. And unfortunately, that was a very rock bottom for me, because I ended up in a very abusive relationship. So I hit rock bottom, and it was a really, really bad time in my life. Probably the lowest. It was the lowest point I've ever been. But I also want to say that it was probably the greatest thing to ever happen to me, because it helped me make changes. I had to either stay a victim, or I could come out the other end and be a survivor. There's literally 2 options that you have. And I choose to become a survivor. I really wanted to become a survivor, so I put everything into it to actually survive. So I did reach out. But a little bit more about the background is that I was a binge drinking mom. Every weekend I was out partying. I really was. Because of fear of loneliness, not really knowing what I wanted. I had dreams, but I didn't have any goals because I wasn't really working on anything. I was bored. I was in survival mode, I'd say. I just wanted to have fun, and that was the only fun that I knew, where I was surrounded by people. Today, I know that that was an escape. I was escaping reality. I was escaping my own emotions. I was escaping my goals that I didn't know at the time that I had. But yeah, I tried many things. I've reached out to people who I knew did well and who were sober. I joined programs, 12-step program. I had a psychologist. I had a life coach. I reached out and I tried so many ways, and I learned something from everything. But life coaching is the one that was the big change for me. That was the game changer for me, because the life coach got me into action, got me into actually working towards my goals.
That's so important, isn't it? Building a sense of community and support when you go through something like this. That's essential, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Just it is, because so often we're focused on what we don't want and what we don't want to do. We don't really get to create what we want. And I think it's really important to start and create that positive mindset. We need to look into what you want. Don't worry about what you don't want, because you already know that. So don't get stuck there. Focus on what you want to create. Focus on what you want. And every problem has a solution. It might not be the solution that you want, but there is a solution to every problem. So it's up to you to choose what's right for you, because you have a choice in everything that you do. And by not making a choice, you're choosing to be where you are today. You're choosing what you have today. And that's what I did for so long. I chose to be stuck because I didn't make choices. I didn't make the right choices for me. I wanted to give up drinking, but I didn't fully make that choice, which means I chose to drink. That was a choice of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so happy to hear that you're on the other side of this journey now. So I'm curious if we can dive into how you help people define their sober future through the programming that you offer. Tell me about the program that you offer and how it works.
So it works that I have an 8-week program. So in 8 weeks, it's a 8-week transformation program. So you can go in 8 weeks, you can transform from being stuck with your unwanted emotions and addiction to come out the other end in just 8 weeks. So I see my clients once a week, and they can reach out to me in between the sessions. And then I have one-on-ones, and we go through. First, I think it's important to know why we drink, because we drink, it's an escape. It's a coping mechanism. It's basically you have an emotion that you don't want to have, therefore we drink. Every time you want to drink, it's because you want to escape an emotion that you're having. You don't want to deal with that. So what you do, you're at home and you feel like, yeah, I'm going to have a drink. You put your emotion that you don't want to deal with and your problems, you put them up on a little shelf, and then you go and drink and you think that everything is all right, or you just forget about that for a little bit. But then you come home, or you come back to reality when you've stopped drinking. You probably have a hangover at this stage as well. The problems that you left on the shelf and the emotions that you left on the shelf, they've grown. So now they're bigger, and now you've got a hangover to deal with them as well. Eventually, the problems and the emotions get so big that you need to drink more often and more in order to cope. And the only way out of this is to stop drinking. But it's important also to know that just to stop drinking is not going to solve all your problems. It's not going to fix your life. But when you stop drinking, it gives you time to start and actually work on the problem and the issues and the emotions that you have on this shelf. And that's something we can't do alone. We have to reach out, and there are so many different ways to do this. And in my program, I look into what are you running from? So we look in together, what are you running from? What emotion is it that you really, really have? And I have tools that I use the emotion wheel being one of my biggest tools, is to be able to pinpoint what emotion it is that you're actually having. And then we look into why you're having that emotion and how we can change it. So we go straight into problem solving, solutions. And then we get clarity of what you want. So we start looking into dreams. We do different exercises to be able to see your goals, to find what your goals may be. And then we start to work on them, and we do it as easy. I help my clients do it as easy as possible for them, because I know how it is, because I used to be stuck in excuses for not doing anything. I can't do that because I don't have time. Everything was excuses. So I make it as easy as possible for my clients. I don't give them homework. We work together in the program. So we work on the goals, one thing at a time. We create a positive mindset, but looking at solutions. And I help them find a space so they can be honest with themselves and actually look at the truth. We look into creating a balance in life. So we see what area in your life you might need some more time with. We look into removing unwanted negative emotions from past events. And I do this, I'm also a neurotransformation therapy practitioner. And I also work with your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is there. It's basically behind the unconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does everything. That's where everything is stored. Trauma and everything. So we go in to work with that, with all the unwanted emotions. Like the biggest ones would be anger and sadness. It's important to also know that anger is sadness that has had nowhere to go for a very long time. Not many people know that. And so we just look into emotions to work with the emotions, because everything is connected to emotions. How we behave, how we act, how we react, what we do and what we don't do, everything is connected to emotions. Why we want certain things, why we buy certain things. When you think about it, we all want to feel happy, yeah? And yeah, everything is connected to emotions. So I help my clients to master their emotions and to see why they have certain behaviors and how we can change it. Also help my clients remove anxiety. That's a big one. I remember struggling with anxiety so bad sometimes that I could not even get out of bed. I had to stay in a really dark room with a cover over my face and just wait for tomorrow to come, because obviously I was probably had too many drinks the night before. Yeah, I was really struggling. Anxiety is something that I really struggled with. And not everyone actually knows this. But it's important to know that what anxiety is, it's that you get anxiety when you focus on what you don't want. That is what anxiety is. And often we create anxiety because we're so focused on outcomes that we don't want. We get nervous for something and we build it up, and that is what anxiety is. And so again, everything is connected to emotions. So yeah, in my program, I help people master their emotions and remove trauma, remove anxiety, remove excuses, and get a balance in life, the different areas in life, the social bits, the self-love, the self-care, education, work life, family life, partner life, all these different areas to create a balance, to see where you might need to focus more and focus less.
Yeah, absolutely. And building on that point, Magdalena, I know it's also important for you to help your clients gain a sense of accountability and avoid victimhood. So tell me, when we look at creating accountability and avoiding victimhood. What do you think of when you work with clients to overcome their alcohol addiction?
So you have two choices. There's two choices. You can either be a victim or you can be a survivor. You choose. And I understand because I've been there. So I was a victim, yeah? So you can stay in the victimhood and feel sorry for yourself. And don't get me wrong, I feel for you. It is hard. And I know you need to talk about it, but as a victim, you stay down, you dig a hole, and all you talk about with all your friends or with everyone, you just go on and on about the problem. You get stuck in a victimhood, a victim wheel. And there is no way out. You can't get out of it because no one is going to come and save you and take the problem away from you. You are in charge of your life and you have to make the changes. So either you stay in the victimhood, but where has that taken you so far? How far have you come? You get stuck in this wheel, and you can be stuck in this wheel for years, forever. It comes a time where you need to step out of it, and you have to take that step, and you need to make that choice that I've had enough. I need more. I deserve more. I want more. Take that pain into action to push through to the other side, because on the other side of discomfort is success. But you need to push through. You have to push through, and you need help to get there. So the first step is just reach out. Reach out.
Yeah, it's so vitally important to know or be in touch with the fact that you need to reach out and to build those building blocks of support. Very important. And I know for you, you said you've always wanted to be a life coach, but it wasn't until you first did it that you realized that you wanted to make a difference in this way and be the go-to person for people struggling with their sobriety and alcohol. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about your journey as a life coach in this arena and really the personal satisfaction that you get from this work.
Yeah, so I've always from a very young age been the go-to person for my friends. They've always reached out and felt that they could talk to me from a very young age. And I felt like I understood people and I could see solutions from a young age, even though I didn't really yet have a voice. I just knew I had a gift and I wanted to help people, and I felt like I knew how to help people, not even knowing that probably I needed help at that stage myself. But I just knew that I had a gift within to help people because I could just see, it was a feeling, and I could see solutions for others. At that stage, it was easier to see in other people than in myself. And then it came to, I think it was a few years ago when we had lockdown because of when COVID hit, and I decided, okay, I can't just sit here with all my emotions locked in a house, not being able to do anything. So I realized, like, okay, I need to study, I need to do something. So I started studying something that I have no interest in, something that I have never been interested in, but I just needed something because I had so many emotions and I needed distractions. So, and in this course that I started, they gave you a little side course, just like a little side course, and that was kind of connected to the life coaching. And I started looking into that, and I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is for me. So I called them back because I've already paid for the course that I signed up to do that I didn't really want to do. And I called them up and I said, hey, I don't want to do this course. I want to do this course, the little sample that you gave me. I want to do that. So they changed it for me, and I got the whole certificate and the whole certification course, and I did that, and that was life coaching. Magnetic Mind, it's called. So that's to help with your mind, and yeah, it's a part of life coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's how it started.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Magdalena, I'm a big believer in celebrating wins in life, no matter how big and small the win is. And I know that's a big part of going on a journey with sobriety and alcoholism, isn't it? Celebrating the wins. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, everything is connected to emotion, and it's really, really important to feel proud of yourself. And when you are sober, you hit different milestones, and it can be whatever you want it to be. Like, you know, I remember in the beginning for me, it was like 1 week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. In the beginning for some, it's 1 day, 2 days. Like, you celebrate whatever milestone you want to celebrate. And how do you celebrate? Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself and look into what you like and treat yourself. Like, maybe go and get a massage. Go and get your nails done. Go and buy something nice for yourself. Go and do an ice bath. Do whatever you're into. Do that. But you need to be proud of yourself and celebrate. If you feel the need to celebrate, then you should celebrate. And there's so many different ways of celebration. It's just when we drink, we think that celebration is drinking and it's out partying, and celebration has to be surrounded by people. But that doesn't have to be celebration. That is what we have created to be celebration. But to me, today, I am going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate, and I'm going to have me time. I'm probably going to take myself out for lunch, and I'm going to do an ice bath and a sauna. That is me celebrating me.
Yeah, it's very important to have that individual time to celebrate individual wins, because, you know, I have a saying, Magdalena, and I say to myself every morning that the only set of expectations I have to reach are my own, right? Because if you don't have a set of personal expectations, it's hard to reach anybody else's, isn't it?
Absolutely, definitely. You have, like, the most important person in your life is you. Mm-hmm. You are the most important person in your life. And I know when I talk to my clients about this, they say, like, no, my children are the most important in my life. But no, it's not. You are the most important person in your life, because your children, if they don't have you, they need you. Your children want you. They need you. So you need to look after yourself. You are the most important person in your life. And you can't help others and look after others unless you're looking after yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Magdalena, I'm also curious to ask you about, once your clients discover this, their sober lifestyle, sort of the aha moment and the sense of personal gratification that you get when they finally come on the other side of their sobriety to live the life they want to live. How gratifying is that from a personal perspective?
It is. I cannot, there is no word for it. It's just, I've found, how do I say this? When you get to know when you go sober and you do the deep self work, you go to the bottom of all the darkest emotions that you have, and you get clarity of why you have had the behavior that you've had. Once you understand and get to know yourself on a whole new level, you you definitely understand other people around you as well. And you get so much confidence within that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And that confidence is something I believe that everyone wants to have. Everyone wants to have confidence. And it's important to know that confidence is not a destination. Confidence is a result that you get when you do the work.
Yeah, it always helps to be prepared, doesn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. But today I realized that my fear was playing out so much. Like the fear, my fear had power over me. I didn't do certain things because of out of fear. It wasn't reality. Thoughts that I had wasn't reality. They were made up by fear. And today I don't have that. Like I feel I have clarity on myself. I have clarity with what I want. Just because I'm confident, though, it's important to know it doesn't mean I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean I don't have problems coming up. It doesn't mean anything like that. That still happens. Problems are going to come to everyone for the rest of your life. But I have a different way of looking at them now. I solve them. I deal with them. I look into why it's there. So it doesn't weigh me down. It doesn't put me in a bad mood because I look in, like, everything is so clear. You understand everything from a different perspective. It's absolutely amazing. And I promise you, I have never in my life met one single person who regrets going sober.
It's a whole different lifestyle and perspective, isn't it?
Absolutely it is. And I know it's big because a lot of people feel like they're scared of loneliness, they're scared of all these different things. But there are different ways to celebrate. There are different ways to hang out. There are different things to do. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to be bored. There is a whole other world there. And it's yours if you want it. You just have to go and get it. Reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And just building on that, you've made the point throughout our conversation today about the importance of reaching out and building a sense of that community. So I'm curious if someone may be watching or listening to this and was in the situation that you were in before you got on your own path to sobriety. I'm wondering the message you would have for them when they feel that they've gained a sense of hopelessness and may not be able to come out the other side of their sobriety. What would be your message to them?
Message would be that don't focus on if you have a problem, if you're an alcoholic, if you need help. Don't focus on that. If you feel unhappy, reach out. I'm happy. At the moment, I'm doing the first call for free with clients. So if you need help, please send me a message and I'm happy to jump on a call for free where we can discuss this further.
And start building that sense of connection, absolutely. And
absolutely. And look into what you can, look into what you want, because we sit there in victimhood, we sit there and we look at all the negative we have. We look at all the things that's going wrong. We look at all the things that we don't want. You have to negative emotions are 4 times stronger than positive emotions. So try and think of something positive, something that you want.
Yeah, it's very, very important. And Magdalena, my final question for you has to do with your own personal and professional legacy. When you look at your life, both personally and professionally, how do you think you want your legacy to be defined?
I just want to make a big difference for people in recovery. I want to lower the percentage of relapses. And I want to be known for that, for bringing that number down, because it's up to 60%, I think, and I want to lower that.
It's a very noble and worthwhile mission. And Magdalena, tell me if people want to get connected with the good work that you do, what's the best way they can do that?
If they want to get in contact, is to reach out on Facebook or Instagram, and they'll find me there.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you for your time and for joining me today to talk about this most important issue of sobriety and reclaiming clarity once you get sober. Great work that you do, and I'm honored that you spent a few minutes chatting with me today about this most important topic. Your work in the space and time on my behalf is most appreciated, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I just want to also say that I have a group, a private group on Facebook that's called the Happy Sobriety Group. So if you are struggling, join the Happy Sobriety Group on Facebook and you can reach me there. And thank you so much for having me, Kevin. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.